But let's before we end this, let's talk about video games. So I want to just go.
Okay.
Through, I just want to go through a little history lesson. Um, which one is this? Okay, so let's go. Let's just talk about the history of like Star Wars video games. So
Okay.
after the Return of the Jedi, tons of Star Wars games were made. In between then and when Disney bought Lucas Films and LucasArts and just everything Star Wars in 2012.
It was 13. No, 14. It was 2014.
No, I think it was
Hang on, let me look this up because I remember it wasn't 2012.
13 or 12. It was one of those two. But I think from what I
Oh no, it was 2012.
I was gonna say from what I researched, what I was going from with this is that they bought Lucas Film and LucasArts in 2012, but they shut down LucasArts in 2013.
I was actually supposed to have an internship when I was 14 with LucasArts because my mom is best friends with someone that used to work for LucasArts, and I was supposed to go over there and have an internship. That never happened.
They shut down LucasArts, laid off a bunch of people, and they were trying to like minimize the company's risk or whatever because they didn't have. But here's the thing. Here's the exact quote. Somebody from Disney or Lucasfilm said they did it to minimize the company's risk while achieving a broad portfolio of quality Star Wars games. Now, me and you both know, within that time, they only released 3 games. We both know that. Whereas in between 83 and 2012, they released 40 plus. No, actually, I have the exact number. It was over 50 games. Now, of course, when you make over 50 games, not all of them are going to be good. But a lot of them were like...
There were a few duds, but they were few and far between.
A lot of them were really good games that people loved, and not just because they were Star Wars games, but because they were legitimately good games. And, Disney makes a lot of mistakes, and this was just one of them. They shut down LucasArts to claim to make more games and better games. They made good games. Don't get me wrong. Like I'm gonna point out a lot of flaws that I keep forgetting the name of Fallen Order, but Fallen Order has. But I like the game, and I think it's a good game. But it's just I think that Fallen Order is the first step of them starting to make the games that people want again.
I disagree with that.
I
feel like every game they've put out has been good.
No.
Except for the what was that game called? The stupid mobile game, Galaxy of Heroes. That's garbage.
Here's the thing. The first Battlefront, I wouldn't say it was good. I would say it was okay. I would say the second one was bad at first, but now it's really good. Like, it's honestly a really good game.
You realize it's the same. They didn't change anything except for taking out microtransactions. And start adding new content. That's it. That's all they did.
Make it any less bad. It was still bad at the beginning.
But you just said it's a good game now. Yeah, it's the same game.
No, now
it's the same.
The changes they made. First off, they added new characters. Of course, basically what they did was
added new content.
Basically, what they did was listen to their fans. They didn't just add new content. They specifically added the content that people were asking for months, and what should have been
the same core game.
They added Anakin, Obi-Wan, Dooku, and Grievous. They added
the same core game.
Look, do you like this game or not? Because I'm trying to.
I love this game. No, that's what I'm saying. I love this game, but it's the same core game.
I'm not in a good light, and you're sitting here trashing it.
I'm not trashing it. It was never bad. The only bad thing was microtransactions. It was never a bad game. It was never a bad game. It was just pay to win. That was the problem.
Okay. Much like the first game, it was okay at first, and then it got better.
No.
Okay, let's go with that. It wasn't the best game at first because of microtransactions. Microtransactions is enough to make a game bad, bro. I'm telling you. It is more than enough to make a game bad. Especially when
I look at mechanics for how bad a game is.
Especially when a game's core like gameplay is in the multiplayer, in the online multiplayer, but the only way you can upgrade your characters is through loot boxes. That makes a game bad because that's a core gameplay element.
I look at gameplay mechanics, not microtransactions. I agree that microtransactions are bad. I don't think it makes a game.
Yeah, but when that's a core mechanic of the entire game and your progression system, And you use that. Look, you use that to unlock everything. When that's how you
you can unlock everything in game though. That was the
yeah,
thing.
but it takes way more time than it should because they want you to go, okay, this is going to take too long.
All right. I'll take it. I'll take that.
They're going to go, okay, this is going to take too long. You know what would be easier? If I spent money. That was their goal. And literally, you know what's funny about Star Wars giving EA that 10-year license for Star Wars video games? 2 years in a row. Like the on the year that they got the license and the year before they got the license, EA was awarded, if you want to call it an award, the worst company in America.
Yeah.
And you know what Star Wars said? That's the company that needs to license the Star Wars games for 10 years. And my problem isn't, like I said, they made good games. Like I said, Battlefront 2 right now is a fantastic game. Fallen Order, great game. But those are 2 games.
Hold on.
Those are 2 games. It's 2020. They got the license in 2013. And
you're missing Squadrons.
2012. Oh, I forgot about Squadrons, but that's really new. So 4 games. And you're gonna say it's like 4 games.
That is really
a lot. And
I mean, they've only made 4 games.
And then their quote was, again, where's it? Hold up, I lost the quote. To make a broad portfolio of games. They did not do that. They made 4 games under one company. And my problem, like I said, isn't the fact that EA made Star Wars games. They can make Star Wars games all they want. It's the fact that they didn't allow any other company to make Star Wars games. And I'm pretty sure it was just money. Because I'm pretty sure EA probably paid them a lot of money to get that.
Oh, I don't doubt it. With the amount of money that they charge users to play their games, I don't doubt.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the only reason EA got that 10-year license is because they paid Disney a lot of money to get that license. Otherwise, Disney would have been having like 5 different studios that aren't all under the same company make video games, and it would have been an actual diverse portfolio of games, unlike what EA did. And it's also weird that they got Respawn to make Fallen Order, even though I'm glad it turned out well, when they literally have the studio that made KOTOR under EA. Like BioWare.
Is it really?
Yeah, BioWare is under EA.
BioWare an EA company?
BioWare is an EA company. Exactly.
That's a little.
They were too busy.
Weird.
They were too busy making that game that flopped real hard. What was it, Anthem? Anthem flopped.
Okay, yeah, no, I was about to sit here and try to defend Anthem. Anthem's actually.
I have a feeling that you would like it because it was essentially, in my mind, what I always imagined Destiny to be. Except
Anthem.
Anthem did not pan out whatsoever.
I hate Anthem. Destiny's so much better. I hate Anthem.
Their license is almost up, and I feel like they.
Good.
I feel like they.
Oh wait, no.
I feel like they should at least try to make another KOTOR because they have BioWare. They have
EA renewed their license. EA did renew their license.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty positive about that. I remember seeing something about them renewing their license. I'm pretty sure they renewed their license.
I really hope they did. I hope that you're right.
No, I hope that I honestly hope that I'm right because with the amounts of games they've been making so far,
4?
they actually have.
They made 4 games.
No, I'm saying with what they've done so far, it's not that bad. Like they're going in the right direction. I hope they're able to continue going in the right direction.
It took them a long time.
It was not that long. Battlefront 2 came out in what, 2017 and got fixed in 2018. That's not that long.
Yeah, but
first Battlefront game was that's not that long.
Listen to me. It is that long. It's been, what is it, 2012? 8 years. 8 years. They released 4 games.
That's not that long though. But I mean, every game they released has been at least okay and at best amazing. Like,
my problem is that EA doesn't need to be the only studio making Star Wars games.
Oh no, I totally agree with that.
That's my problem. They
shouldn't lose the license.
Only 4 Star Wars games came out because one studio has the license.
They shouldn't lose the license. That's my point. They shouldn't lose the license.
They don't need the license at all. They don't need the license to make a Star Wars game. They just need permission to make a game. They don't need to have the license to making every single Star Wars game. This license prevents other studios from making Star Wars games. That's the problem.
I
don't want EA to stop making Star Wars games. I just want other studios to be allowed to also make Star Wars games.
I feel like they need to do what Project Maverick did. I think that no, that's not the right thing at all. Hold on, give me a sec. There was something. It wasn't Project Maverick because that's what that's what Squadron I'm turning into. There was something that there was an old project thing that Lucasfilm did, or not Lucasfilm, LucasArts did, where basically like fan ideas and like fan games and stuff like that, they would like buy the fan or the people making the game and the content, and then they would make the game like theirs, so they'd be able to sell it and stuff like that. And like I don't remember what it was called, but they need to do that. They need to go back to that model because that model was perfect.
Yeah, for me, I'm frustrated at the fact that they're limiting themselves for no reason. First off, EA. I disagree with you every step of the way. EA, they're the best studio at making okay games. They have not made a great game in like a decade.
Fallen Order exists.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I mean, I guarantee you that if other studios were working on Star Wars games, we would have gotten games better than Fallen Order and Battlefront 2 by now. Because you can
disagree with that.
That EA,
I disagree with
that studio that makes Star Wars games. They're not.
I disagree with that.
There's so many.
Fallen Order is the best Star Wars game to have been made in my eyes. So I highly doubt that. Fallen Order is the best Star Wars game in my eyes.
I think that the first Force Unleashed is the best Star Wars game.
Heavily, the second Force Unleashed is better than the first one in my eyes.
The second one is nowhere near.
It's far better.
The combat of the second one way better than the first one, but the story trash. The levels.
The story was better. I hated the story of the first one. I didn't hate the story. The story of the first one felt redundant. The story of the first one felt very redundant. The story of the second one.
The story of the first one for anyone. The story of the first one for anyone who doesn't know is basically Starkiller. His name is Galen Erso.
Galen Merrick. It's not Erso.
It is what?
It's not. Erso was Jin from Rogue One. That was her family.
Yeah, and her
name was Merrick.
Her family was named after Starkiller.
No.
Her dad's.
Galen's last name was Merrick. It was Galen Merrick.
It was Merrick.
It wasn't Galen Erso.
Are you sure about
it was
that?
Merrick. I'm positive.
Okay.
He used to be my favorite Star Wars character. I know this by heart. Like.
Okay, my bad. Galen Merrick. His father was killed by Darth Vader. Darth Vader adopted Galen and made him his apprentice. His name was Starkiller. He named him Starkiller. And he basically, the first, quarter or half of the game was him going around hunting down Jedi, killing them. Then Darth Sidious, Palpatine, finds out about Starkiller, makes Darth Vader kill him. But Darth Vader secretly saves him and tells him to try and start a rebellion to distract Palpatine. And he does that. And like any story about an undercover, officer, for lack of a better term, he ended up kind of getting too close to the people he was working with. And he ended up kind of going towards the light. He ended up, falling in love. He ended up making some good friends. And he ended up betraying them. And he died for it. I think that was a good ending, just him dead. But they decided to
I definitely agree with that.
I agree that you say you don't, or you do?
No, I definitely agree with that.
I feel like they should have.
Was really good on that.
I think they should have kept him dead. I enjoy that story. I like that story a lot. And I think what the second one does is, first off, you say that game is better than the second one. It's not. I mean, the first one is not.
It is.
Let me tell you why. But first, several reasons. Because I thought it was better than the first one too, because it was the first one I played, and I was basically.
I played the first one first.
I was looking back at it with rose-tinted glasses. The game was made in 9 months, and the writer was given 3 weeks to write the entirety of the story.
Oh yeah, no, I remember that.
Yeah, and the reason was there is no reason. Lucasfilm just wanted them to do it real fast. Like, they literally had no reason. Lucasfilm was just like, get it done and get it done fast, and that's about it. They had no good reason for rushing this game, and because of that, the levels were uninspired. They were very repetitive. Like, you would literally go. Don't you dare!
That's literally the first game.
No,
that's the entirety of the first game.
Different and diverse levels. First off,
they were very samey.
You went to 3 places in the second game, and when you went forward, it was a circle. You literally would go through the same loop like 20 times.
You went to in the second game, you go
Dagobah for like 5.
Camino. You go Camino. You go the ship that Ram Koda and whatever her name is on. You go through that weird. There was one. I'm blanking on where it was. It was the weird thing where you meet Boba Fett on there. That might have no.
That was the first.
You were on the surface. What?
You meet Boba Fett. Oh yeah, Boba Fett was
in
on
the second one.
That was on a ship. He was also in the first one, but he was on the ship.
Was he in the first one? I don't know. I played both of them on Wii. I don't know.
He was in DLC.
Okay. He was in DLC for the first one. I remember that. I remember that DLC. I remember seeing the trailer for that.
He also.
Let's see. What are you saying?
I was going to say the game starts off on Camino, then you go to that planet that Koda's on, then you leave that planet and you go to the ship. No, he goes to Dagobah for like 5 seconds. Then he goes.
I forgot about the Dagobah level. The Dagobah level was creepy.
It was stupid. Then he was on.
It was not stupid. It was cool.
He was on the ship
so
for
cool.
5 seconds, and that was the best. That was the best map on the ship because it was a bit. They were trying to mix a bit of horror in there. I actually liked it. And then the last place you went was back to Camino. You went 4 places, and one of them you were there for like 5 minutes.
Dagobah was cool though. I love Dagobah. I don't understand how you hated Dagobah. Dagobah was awesome. Dagobah was awesome to see, and you got to meet Yoda, and you got to go through the little force cave that Luke went through. That was awesome. I loved that.
I think that. Oh yeah. Also, the reason why I also like the fact that he died is that it could have fit in canon.
Yeah, it definitely could have.
At the end of the first game, his death was permanent and he just died. It could have fit in canon, and he could have been technically the reason the rebellion started. He kind of just sparked it a bit.
My only problem with Star Wars.
If Koda was canon, I would love him so much.
My only problem with Star Wars, and this is literally my only problem with anything Star Wars ever, except for ignoring the sequels. My only problem with anything Star Wars is in both Legends and in canon. In both Legends and canon, there's like 30 different origins of the Rebel Alliance.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I don't like. Why are there so many different origins of the Rebel Alliance? It's like I don't get that.
Starkiller's origin was the one they chose. I wouldn't be mad because that was actually the one that George Lucas wanted to use until he sold Disney and Disney changed things.
I actually did not hear that was the one he wanted to use. I just heard that he said he signs off on everything and doesn't know, like, he didn't know half of what was going on.
He's just like, I don't care, make it. If it makes me money, I don't care.
That's basically it. The Darth Maul game went through so much turmoil because he started signing off on a bunch of stuff, and then he decided to start vetoing a bunch of stuff, like, into development. Wow. And then that's why the Darth Maul game didn't get made, because at first he signed off on stuff. And then he wanted Darth Talon, who was in the Star Wars Legacy comics, I believe. She was one of the Sith Lords in there, and he wanted her to be Darth Maul's apprentice and I think love interest or something like that.
Also, something that like another reason why like I'm saying, like, I don't think EA should just stop. Like, I don't think they make sometimes they make bad games, but I don't think the Star Wars game they made are bad. Like, I keep telling you, I don't think they're bad. I don't think they're amazing, but I think that I guarantee you that if other studios were making games, they would make some, like, better games would be made. And if anything, competition breeds, what's the word? What I'm looking? It breeds innovation. Competition breeds innovation. And
that's true.
When you have multiple studios making games, and if eventually 100% another studio would have made a Star Wars game much better than EA made. And that would have pushed EA to start making better games. Because EA, the reason they were voted worst company in America, I said worst like I was German, worst company in America for like 2 years straight was because what they would do is they would buy studios, they would buy studios for their IPs, have them make a game, but then basically not allow them to work the way they're used to working and completely change their workflow, which would mess up the production of the game. And then when the game turns out not to be good because EA overstepped their boundaries and messed up the way that company does their thing, they would fire them all. That's basically what EA was known to do over and over again. That's why they were voted worst company in America. And now they're getting better because of public criticism. but it took a while. And if they had a bit more competition, they probably would have got a lot better, a lot faster. And I just don't like. It's a thing about it's the way I feel about most of Star Wars. Star Wars is such a big and diverse. It's a universe. It's a galaxy. It's like it's full of so much stuff that I feel like they always limit themselves all the time when they don't need to. Star Wars it's nearly limitless. It's a world full of so many different types of stories. In reality, you could literally make a soap opera based in the Star Wars universe if you wanted to, and have it have absolutely nothing to do with anything else going on in the galaxy and the greater galaxy with the rebellion and all that. It could just be a soap opera in Star Wars, and it wouldn't matter because Star Wars is such a large universe that you can literally do anything with it.
I want to see. I'm trying to think about. I think I really want to see CD Projekt Red make a Star Wars game, but like not an open world one. I want to see them make a linear Star Wars game.
I'm not sure what studio I want to do it, but I want a Force Unleashed 3. My first thought was Capcom because they make great action games. But I'm trying to think of another studio that can make it. Santa Monica.
I wouldn't want Capcom to make it. I
think Sony Santa Monica would do a great job.
No, I want Naughty Dog to make.
Yeah, Naughty Dog. They were supposed to make 1313.
They were. I remember that they were supposed to make 1313, and that's why I was thinking about it.
There was a whole trailer for it with games.
There's a whole trailer for it. 1313 did not look fun in my opinion. Like the trailer for 1313, I didn't like it.
I think it was literally just Uncharted in space.
Yeah. But like less interesting to me.
Yeah, but we know that they can make games that aren't Uncharted. Like The Last of Us is like nothing like Uncharted. So we know they can make a game. Plus, they also made Crash. Like we know they can make games that aren't just Uncharted.
Oh, did they make Crash? They did make Crash. That makes sense.
They did make Crash before it was sold to Activision. Hell, Activision could make a great Star Wars game.
No, who were the people that made Sleeping Dogs?
That studio's gone. I'm pretty sure that studio's gone. I'm looking it up.
Yeah, I was like, please look it up, because
I'm not mistaken, they were under another studio, but I think like the studio that actually made it.
They were under Square Enix. I'm pretty sure.
They were under Square Enix. The actual developers that made it, United Front Games.
United Front.
They defunct in 2016.
If they were a thing, they would make a great Star Wars game, and I will stand by that fact forever.
Look, you see what I'm saying? The wheels start turning when you start introducing other studios. Like EA doesn't need to stop; they just need to share. They need to share their toys with other people.
I want like a Sleeping Dog style. Well, not like Sleeping Dog style, but like
also,
in a similar vein as Sleeping Dogs. Like,
how upset would you be if BioWare doesn't make another Star Wars game before EA stops making Star Wars games?
Wait, repeat that? Because you cut out for like half of that.
I'm sorry. How upset would you be if EA never lets BioWare make a Star Wars game?
Isn't BioWare owned by EA?
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be that upset about it. They made 3 great games. I wouldn't be that upset about it.
I feel like they made 3 great games. They could make another one. Like, let them make another great Star Wars game. I'm pretty sure
they're going to be mad about it.
I doubt they won't, because it would just be ridiculous for them not to.
You know what they should do? They should let Telltale. Well, Telltale shut down. But if Telltale hadn't shut down, they should have let Telltale or the people behind
so they could just have
Heavy Rain and
Supermassive or
Supermassive. They should have let Supermassive make a Star Wars game about like becoming a Jedi or something like that.
Quantic Dream.
And like
Quantic Dream made Heavy Rain. Supermassive made Until Dawn.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No, that's right. I wouldn't want Supermassive making a Star Wars. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe the Star Wars horror game. Maybe
they made a Star Wars horror game. That's the thing, though. I have an idea of like an alien isolation game, but you're being hunted by Darth Vader, and you have to try.
We've talked about this one.
You have to try and escape the ship from Darth Vader. Also, I wouldn't be mad at just a straight up aliens and Star Wars crossover video game.
I want if there was gonna be a Star Wars horror game, I want it to be based off of Vader's castle. Did you ever read Vader's Castle?
Nope.
Okay. Vader's Castle is basically it's like a series of almost kids books, but it's like kids going to a horror theme park in Star Wars. And so they're like seeing like all the I don't even know how to describe it. I only read a little bit of like the first Vader's Castle book. Oh my god. Vader's Castle is just really good. It's really good. You should read Vader's Castle. But like I would want one of those like that.
Well,
or I would want
no, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say where I'm sorry, we're going on 2:30, and
okay.
We need to wrap this up. That's all I was about to say.
Okay. I would want Quantic Dream to make a Star Wars game about like Boba Fett's origins, but like, did you ever read the Young Boba Fett books?
Nah.
Okay, first of all, you should. Those were great books.
I've only read one Star Wars book, and that was the Ahsoka book, and that was it. As a medium, Star Wars is one that I prefer to consume through film and video games and TV.
As bad as this sounds, and this is by no means bashing anything Star Wars, because I love the movies, I love the TV shows, I love all that stuff. Star Wars is at its worst on screen. Yes. I mean that in the most sincere way.
For me personally, I think it's at its best on TV, and I think that it could be at its absolute best in video game form. I think that it could work the best in video games because it lends so heavily to just the way RPGs work. Like I said, I'm not big in RPGs, but I played the hell out of a Star Wars RPG, except for the old ones.
Play Cold War. Play Knights of the Old Republic.
Ooh, what if Ubisoft made a Star Wars game?
I want Ubisoft to stay as far away from Star Wars.
Here's the thing, though. They don't have to.
I love Ubisoft. I swear I love Ubisoft. I love Assassin's Creed. I love Watch Dogs.
They don't have to write the game. They could hire better writers.
It even goes down to gameplay mechanics, because as much as I love their games, there's always at least one thing that they royally screw up that can ruin the entire game for me.
I think it's
always something.
I think they could make a decent Star Wars game.
It's always something. Like they're always either super buggy or there's like it's something. It's always something with Ubisoft. That's the thing.
For me,
I want a Star Wars game to be perfect.
For me, off top, when I think of studios that make Star Wars games, is Bethesda pops in my mind. One of their studios, because
Bethesda would make an amazing Star Wars.
Yeah, Bethesda would make great Star Wars games, and also another one. Oh, I forgot immediately. This one doesn't pop in my mind, but it would be interesting if like the studio that made Breath of the Wild made a Star Wars game.
Ooh, I can see that.
I don't even know what studio made Breath of the Wild.
You just gave me a perfect idea. I know you said we have to wrap it up, but you just gave me a perfect idea. The studio that made Payday, the Payday games, makes a bounty hunter style Star Wars game or a smuggler style Star Wars game. That would be great in my eyes. Yeah, no, that would be amazing in my eyes.
It's not even like a studio under Nintendo. The studio that made it just says straight up Nintendo. So I don't know how that works. I don't know how Nintendo studios work. I feel like Nintendo studios are the only video game studios I don't understand. I don't know how they work.
Yeah, I haven't done any research into Nintendo Studios, so I have no.
Like every other studio that makes Xbox and PlayStation games, I know how like they work in the studios they have under them, but I have no idea how. Like Bandai Namco makes Super Smash Bros, which is weird. Well, it's not that weird because they make tons of fighting games, but they make hella anime fighting games. But we gotta end this podcast.